If you're a small business owner, you know time is your most valuable asset. In this video, I'm gonna go over 6 digital tools that will help you streamline your business for little to no cost and help you take back your time. This is the list that I wish I had over a decade ago when I first started my business. Let's get into it. For most of the tools on this list, I have more in-depth videos about why I use them, how I specifically set them up, so look in the description for links to those videos if you're interested in any particular tool that I mentioned. Number 1 on this list, and where I would get started if I was gonna do a brand new business, is a virtual mailbox. This is sometimes called a virtual address. All this is a dedicated address where you can receive all your paper mail, and that mail will be scanned in and digitized so you have access from anywhere. I love virtual mailboxes for a couple reasons. The first is it protects your personal information. So when you're registering your business, when you're putting an address down for bank accounts, or when you're giving a client an address to communicate with, you don't have to use your home address. I also like it because it allows you to be location independent, so not being tied to my desk is important for me in my business, and when my mail comes to me digitally, I can operate from anywhere. And then also, it allows you to save time by not having to run to a P.O. box or have to go anywhere to get mail in the office if it's all digitized for you already. My current recommendation for a virtual mailbox service is anytimemailbox.com. I'll throw the link in the description if you're interested in checking them out. And again, look at my other video because I talk about this a little bit more in depth about what I look for in a virtual mailbox service. So after my mail is scanned in with a virtual mailbox service, I actually have a virtual assistant, sometimes called a VA, go through, organize, and sort that mail. And that's actually just one out of the many things that I use virtual assistants for in my business. Virtual assistants are the ultimate time saver. I use them both in my business and my personal life. Any task that you don't have to be physically present to do, you can find a virtual assistant online that is specialized in that task and can do it. In my business currently, I use virtual assistants to organize my paper mail that's scanned in, like I mentioned before. I use virtual assistants to help with my bookkeeping, so they go into my QuickBooks accounting software. I use them to manage my online business Facebook. I have virtual assistants that will help make calls for me. When it comes to finding virtual assistants, there's 2 main websites to go to. One is Fiverr.com and the other one is Upwork.com. Fiverr.com is usually better for those one-time tasks. So if you need somebody to make a logo, to scrub a list like I mentioned before, audit your website, Fiverr.com has a lot of those canned services that are easy to find. For more of the ongoing things like the bookkeeping, somebody to make phone calls, Upwork.com is better for finding those ongoing people, and actually tracking them and paying them is a little bit easier in Upwork. So I recommend that for the ongoing services. Honestly, the sky's the limit. If there's anything that you're sitting down to do at a computer that is A, daunting, or B, gonna take a long time, I would check to see if there's a VA that you can find that can do it for you. And there's a lot of international VAs, so sometimes you can find very affordable people who are doing things at a fraction of the cost, and they're very skilled at it because it's what they do all day long for other clients. Next on the list is Google Voice, which is a free app that allows you to get a dedicated brand new phone line that you use only for business. This one was a game changer for helping me streamline my processes. A couple things I like about Google Voice is you can set business hours, so you can say that your phone only rings from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can also set professional voicemails. And the last thing is probably the biggest reason is you can share the responsibility of your business phone. So let's say you want to go on vacation for 2 weeks and you want your business phone to be routed to somebody else. You can set that up in Google Voice so whoever's filling in for you can take all your phone calls, and then when you come back, you can take that responsibility and have it go back to your phone. So I love the shared responsibility part of it. Google Voice is free and a great solution. If you want to step up from Google Voice, I'd probably recommend RingCentral. RingCentral lets you do a couple things like set an automated attendant, so you can say, you know, for this press 1, for that press 2. It also allows automatic call recording, so if you're in the process of training somebody, this is pretty important just to see how those calls are going and use it to improve in the future. At the time of this recording, I think RingCentral starts around $20 a month. Next on the list is Google Drive. This one is huge for organization and saving time. Google Drive is just an online cloud storage platform. It's very similar to Dropbox or iCloud. In my opinion though, Google Drive has the best integrations, and that's why it's my #1 pick. 2 reasons I like Google Google Drive, access from anywhere, and shared access. So as far as access from anywhere, that has helped me tremendously to be able to recall what I did on a previous project, remember vendors, have templates for things that I use consistently, always at my fingertips. For shared access, if you work with anybody on your team, including a contractor, having access to the same information is crucial. In my business personally, I use it for my bookkeeper to manage some of my accounting things. I also use it for my handyman to manage pictures and contact information for various vendors. I did a whole separate video on Google Drive, the specific folders that I recommend in my rental business and how I set it up and how I get all my documents over to Google Drive easily. So definitely check out that video if you want to know more about my Google Drive setup. So speaking of accounting and bookkeeping, the next thing on my list is a tool that I use every year during tax time. It used to be called track1099.com. They recently changed their name to Avalara 1099. This tool allows you to send a 1099 to anybody at the click of a button. At the time of this recording, anybody that you paid over $600 to in your business, you have to send them a 1099 for IRS and tax purposes. There are some exemptions of when people don't need that 1099, so definitely look that up. But if you run a business, you usually have to do at least one of these. Some accounting softwares let you do it, but it can be a little bit expensive there, or you can fill out the form and do it via paper. This is a game changer because it allows you to do it quickly and it remembers everybody you used from last year, so you just click a button and get those sent out right away. It costs about $3 per 1099 that you send out, but once you start thinking about, buying a stamp and the envelope and, 30 minutes, even 10 minutes of your time, 5 minutes of your time, that $3 is worth every penny. And last but definitely not least is ChatGTP. There are so many business uses for ChatGTP. If you're not using it or you're intimidated by it, I just recommend that you go on there and just at least play around with it. I like to call ChatGTP my starter. It won't do 100% of the thing, but it'll get me 50, 60, 80% of the way there. In my business, I use it to review all contracts. If somebody sends me a contract, I send it through ChatGTP for a summary and how it can affect me. I also use it for market research. So if I'm thinking about getting into a new market or a new product, I will get a rough overview of what to look out for from ChatGTP. Again, it won't do all the work, but it'll get me 50, 60% of the way there. I also use it for anything that is written as far as marketing material, website stuff. I own a rental business, so renting out rental descriptions and listings, I'll use it for in that scenario. Whenever I ask ChatGTP a question, I use a 4-part system. Number 1 is the context. I will tell it who I am, what my business is. Number 2 is the specific information, so it needs to know any details about what I'm doing. Number 3 is the intent. What is my intent of asking ChatGTP a question? And then number 4 is the response format. What do I want it to give back to me? So let me give you an example. If I was using it to review a contract that somebody gave me to do plumbing work in my rental business, this is what I might ask ChatGTP. I would say, I'm a landlord in Wisconsin. That's my context. And then I would say, I got a plumbing contract that I want you to review, and I would upload the contract. That's my specific information. Then I would say, I want you to see how this contract will potentially negatively affect me. That's the intent. And then I would say, can you list in a bullet point format 5 things that I should look out for and ask the contractor that's giving me this quote, and that would be the response format. If you found any of those tools interesting, but you want more details about how to set them up, again, take a look in the description because I have more detailed videos where I dive into most of those topics. I'll see you in the next one.